Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Well, it's been a while and I have a sad story to tell you guys. So the thing is, I kinda recorded at least 6 to 7 videos in a row, and by some technical difficulties all the recordings of the raw content somehow got deleted, and that's why I kind of got into depressing because many of the videos have at least the length of 30 minutes. So that's why I have kind of a small depression time. So I'm sorry about that. Let's begin because I have to record everything. So let's begin today's video. What if S was a little smarter? Episode 4.
बजो।
It was late evening, around 6:30, and as was sitting up camp, the rest of the journey continued in the same vein. As had taken part in more than 10 battles after his first one, most of the trainers used PG, Sparrow, Ratata, or bug Pokemon like Caterpie and Weedle. Most of the Pokemon were weak and as easily won all his battles using his Pikachu, Eevee, and Pebble in equal amounts. He didn't use retaining yet, as didn't deem him strong enough to do so. He needed more training and to learn new moves before he start battling. Since Rock is a weak attack move and he had no other offensive move, Eevee got lesser battles than the other two for the same exact reason. She only knew tackle, but her tenacity and her will to battle were enough to allow Ash to let her battle. Ash always withdrew her if she cannot handle her opponent or was too much to handle. The battle involving Fallible were similar to the ones she had, but getting easier as she gained more experience while battling. She even lost one battle against a powerful PG but weakened it enough for Pikachu to defeat it easily. The battles were much easier for Pikachu. His electrical attacks were naturally super effective against bird Pokemon. Combined with his already powerful Thundershock attack, made defeating his opponent fairly simple. The battle against the Rattata were easy as well, as Pikachu was naturally faster than them and had to add the advantage of an attack that could hit from a distance. Once Ash set up his tent, he released all his Pokemon for a final training session before sleeping. Once his Pokemon shook off the effect of being in status, he addressed them. Alright guys, we have stopped for the day. We have a couple of hours till dinner. So what do you say? We train till then? As heart warmed as she heard the enthusiastic cries of approval of his Pokemon, he smiled and continued. Our training session in the evening will be geared toward learning and mastering moves that come naturally to all of you. Pikachu, I want you to help Eevee learn quick attack, give her gist and let her work it out on her own. She can ask for your help if she is stuck. Got it? After the affirming cries, he continued, Good. Get to it. Pikachu, I will come tell you your exercise after I've helped Felipe and Dittany. Now go. As Pikachu and Eevee ran off with Pikachu explaining the move to Eevee, Ash turned to Fable. Alright Fable, I want you to start working on Razor Leaf. According to the Pokédex, your first work on performing the Razor Leaf needed for this move. We will get to the throwing part later. Understand? At Fable nods, he sent her off to start learning a new move. Razor Leaf was a moderately powerful grass type attack in which the user hurled multiple sharp leaves at the opponent. These leaves slashes at the opponent, and a powerful Razor Leaf is powerful enough to cut through even rock. Of course, Padawan will need not only months but maybe evolve into his final form to reach that level of power. However, as a complete faith that Padawan ability to reach that level. Ash turned his attention to Destiny. Hi Destiny, how about we start you learning your first dragon type move? At Destiny enthusiastic coo, Ash smile and continue. I want you to get start learning on Twister. I want you to concentrate your dragonic energy into first moving the air around you. Once you have that down constantly, I want you to start making the twister. Twister is probably the weakest dragon type move in existence. The user whip up a twister flipped with draconic energy and hurl it at the opponent. While it is moderately damage dealing, it is not powerful enough to knock out most Pokemon with one single hit. Unlike other dragon type Pokemons, however, as one need to get used to channeling the and controlling his draconic energy for future moves, and Twister is best way to do that. Once Brittany start working on learning Twister as Walk 2, where Pikachu was overseeing Eevee's learn of quick attack. After getting his starter attention, he led Pikachu a little further away from Eevee. Once there, he started speaking. Pikachu, one thing I noticed in your battle against Eevee is the amount of damage you took from a single attack, even while training to dodge attack. The attack that hit you more damage on than to any of others. Pikachu muttered depressingly. It's okay, Pikachu, as comfort him while petting his head lovingly. It's not your fault. I did some research on Pokedex about Pikachu species, and you guys are just not built to take hits, which is why we will make sure that it will almost impossible to hit you. To do so, instead of teaching you offensive moves, I want you to learn double team. You understand? Because you murmured an approval and went up to train a little happier than what he was a second ago. After 2 hours of continuous training, Ash called his Pokemon for dinner. Other than Pikachu, the rest looked absolutely exhausted. Today was the first day, and they trained so much, and it would be take a few days to get used to it and get the proper benefit from such harsh training. Pikachu was in a much better shape since he had been training like this for a week. After dinner, everyone quickly went to sleep to rest their exhausted bodies. Ash and Pikachu stood the entrance of the Viridian Forest. The previous days were similar to the day they start their journey to Future City. They got up, trained, walked for a few hours, battled trainers, stopped for the evening training some more, and then rested. As predicted, the training in the evening bore more fruit than the training in the morning. Despite training for continuous 3 days, neither of Destiny, Pikachu, or Eevee made any progress in learning until February, on the other hand, was showing some effect of training as her wine weave was getting noticeably stronger. She had also started incorporating using her vines to dodge attacks thrown at her during dodging practice. The evening sessions, on the other hand, were showing noticeable progress. Pikachu had already cracked the secret behind double team technique. Needed a few more days to master the move. Farewell after 3 days had finally produced a razor leaf. Now she needed to work on producing multiple leaves of the same amount, the speed at which she produced them and throwing the leaves. At the rate she was going, as assumed she will have the move mastered in a week, perhaps lesser if she mastered vine weave and can practice the move in the morning as well. Destiny was so far the slowest to show progress in learning a new move. It was expected since draconic energy is notoriously hard to control even for the dragon type. But the 3 days were enough time for Ash to see that he had already started controlling the energy he was born with. Ash was hopefully that the Titanic could master the mood by the time they reached Future City in around 2.5 weeks. Evie was one who showed the maximum progress in learning her new move. Again, not surprisingly, since she had Pikachu to help her. Along the way, with Pikachu help, she had almost learned the move, and Ash was confident that she would master the move sooner or later. Ash had already started researching moves for to learn next. Now, Ash and Pikachu were entering Viridian Forest, having completed their morning training session. Viridian Forest was dark, gloomy places and was the home to countless bug and flying type Pokemon. It could be dangerous as well. There are various Breedale nests throughout the forest, and a herd of angry Breedale can be dangerous to even the most experienced trainer. A few minutes after entering the forest, Ed had his first encounter with the infamous bug catcher. Bug catchers were trainers that only focused on catching bugs, but unfortunately, 99% of them were pathetically weak. At least that is what their reputation is. As would be getting a first-hand experience in this pretty soon as Buckcatcher challenged him to a battle. What are the rules? Asked as he ready his Pokeball. There 3 on 3, no substitution, replied his opponent. Cool. Eevee, you are up. With a light of flash, Ash's Eevee came out ready for a battle. Go Caterpie. With that, a green caterpillar Pokemon came out of a Pokeball. It had yellow ring-shaped mark down the side of its body. It has a bright red antenna on its head. Use tackle, both trainers shouted. Eevee and Caterpie rushed at each other as let it be, since he was confident that Eevee would not take too much damage. He wanted to see how powerful his Pokemons are. However, the result was a bit anticlimactic. Eevee barreled straight toward the Caterpie as the bug Pokemon went flying and hit a tree. It didn't get up after that. There was a silence, and after some time, is that it? As asked incredulously by Mew, that was fucking disappointing. Eevee sniffed Eevee as he turned away haughtily, clearly not impressed with the battle. Uh, this is not over. Let's go, Weedle. Trash these idiots. With that, a small larva Pokemon with a yellow colored body came out of the Pokeball. It has a corny stinger on its head and one of its tail. Go, Weedle. Use Poison Sting. The horn on the Weedle glowed brightly before what looked like multiple needles of the same light shot towards Eevee. Dodge it, Eevee. Then use Tackle. Avoid the horns. They are poisonous. Commanded as Eevee easily dodged all the poison strings. Her practice in dodging attacks showing before she tackled the side of Weedle's body. The result was the same as the previous match. Weedle was unconscious before it even fell to the ground. Don't get cocky, brat. You may have defeated 2 of my Pokemon, but you will definitely lose to my last one. Go Kakuna, yelled the butt catcher as he sent out his last Pokemon. Kakuna, it is evolved form of Weevil and retain its yellow color, is something like a dome-shaped head and black triangular eyes. Eevee, let's finish this phase of a battle. Use Tackle, not so fast. Kakuna used Harden. On hearing its trainer's commands, Kakuna's body glowed before its skin hardened. Eevee, when hit it, it flew a couple of feet away but definitely conscious. Now, what will we do against the ultimate defense of my Pokemon? Taunted the bug catcher. As just felt like face palming, it was confirmed. The stories about bug catchers were true. They are weak Pokemon. They are fucking idiots. Harden just lessens the damage to take physical attack. It does not nullify it. In fact, if Eevee had any kind of special attack right now, this battle would be over already. Still, the only thing left was keep hitting Kakuna with tackle till it pinned. However, just before he could give the command, a sudden burst of inspiration struck Ash. Evie, this is a brilliant opponent to help you train your new move. With hardening, it will take a few hits before we win the battle. Keep using quick attack till it faints. As commanded, normally he would never ask his Pokemon to use a half master move, but the situation of Kahuna was not retaliating, it just stood there and continued using Harden. Evie joyfully followed her master's commands as she continuously hit Kahuna with a quick attack. While Kakuna kept hardening his body, the onslaught became too much for it and it fainted soon up. Evie let out a disheartening sound as she turned back to her opponent, walked back to Ash with her head high.